Let's get to work, guys. Let's get to work. Let's take a look at the markets here first, and then from there, we'll get going. So we got a little bit of slight, I would say, a little bit of weakness. Hold on here. I'm making some fucking Nescaf. I found out the secret to Nescaf in Europe. You got to fucking double dose on these things because I don't know if it's like real coffee. This one's not even a real Nescaf. It's called French. You got to double dose on these things. You want to get that American style go, go, go coffee, then you got to double dose on the Nescaf. That's the secret. All right, so we got a little bit of a weak open after the big bounce yesterday. There's a bounce in the market due to, it looks like something with the ECB and interest rates. Frankly, I didn't read it, but that looks like that's what kind of was taking the market up. And beyond that, I mean, we were just oversold and due for a bounce anyways. So remember, the technicals will always trump the news anyways. They'll lead the way. You know, it's usually after the fact, like, you know, you'll be like, oh, fuck, that's why the market bounced, right? But it's never really happens in real time. The charts will always tell you the story. So, you know, in the end, we did get a little bit of an oversold bounce led by Solars, you know, and so you saw a big monster cock run in ENPH. This was something we had out of the gate yesterday. Should have held some. Man, I always go for that money. You know, we got this thing on the red to green yesterday. Big, nice, beautiful push. And it ended up, you know, I missed the dip buy and I was already gone at the computer by then. But, you know, Solars led the way. So you had a actual, you know, 52-week highs, all-time highs breakouts, which we are not seeing at all in the market, right? In ENPH, this is not all-time highs, but this is like a 10-year highs. In FSLR, guys, never sleep on these big breakouts. Like when you have these, hey, Mona, how are you doing? Never sleep on these big breakouts, like when they're like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, right? So think about like last time FSLR was here. For those of you guys that have been with me a long time, I had hair back then, right? And that's how long it's been. So this is a big breakout. You don't have really any level of supply till like, you know, over here. Do not be surprised over the next coming months if this thing hits $180, $200 just due to the supply and demand, the way the supply and demand is looking there. Now, it does probably, you know, will pull back and stuff. It's not one of those things that just goes straight up. As you can see, it's more of a little bit of a grinder. But, you know, overall, it does move like it. Yeah, okay, it's a grinder, but it fucking doubled, right, in a month. Like, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. So Solars are leading the way. We want to still be playing these. You can see here the Run Nation hasn't broken out yet, and we do have a level like sitting up over here, kind of at 37-ish. The 37-ish on Run. We want to keep playing these. So we'll go for like maybe a little bit of red to green action on some of these Solars, however you want to pronounce it. So I'd add Run, FSLR. ENPH is going to be, ENPH is a daily trader. So what I mean by daily trader, guys, is when you have a stock, think about like, you know, all the times like, you know, we've like really hammered in a stock for like months and months and months. It usually starts with the breakout, right? So like this breakout here, like we've been trading this for a little bit of time. So on this particular breakout here, right, this day here was because of earnings. So you had a piece of news out, right, a fundamental catalyst along with a chart breakout. And then, right, you kind of run for these days and then you compress for a period of time and now you're breaking that compression again. So this is something that, you know, we can keep trading for probably the next few months back and forth. But in essence, like, there's just not very many stocks that are showing this kind of chart, right? So, you know, we want to definitely be focused in on this. And you never even know, in the bear markets, these hot charts can also fail. And failed breakouts tend to be the best fucking trades ever, too. So that's something, you know, we haven't seen any indication of that, but, you know, that's always a possibility, too. So let's add in all these Solars. I got a Solar watch list over here, too. So let's just kind of go through this real quick. Okay, so let's just sort this bad boy and then see like what's cooking and booking. The one thing to remember with solars too is if they all start to run, the fucking pumpers will start coming out in a hot heat, and you know how the pumper game works, right? Because somebody will be like, hey, ENPH is going, watch SPI. And it's like, they're not really related, right? One's like a dollar stock that does no volume, but that's right. That's like the logic of how it works. And so you'll start to see, right, that kind of thing going like, oh, if ENPH is at 300, the SPI should be at 10, right? And that's, and then you'll start to see stuff like that. So, keep an eye on some of these. Maxon is probably one that's a good trailer. It's a newer company, right? Only from 2020. And you can see right here. That's going to be, that's probably a little bit of even maybe a swing look right there if it can start to break. Airy does a little bit of good liquidity here too. You got a nice nice run in these. So Airy, I think, is another one. Man, so this is 113 million float, 3 billion shares. This is also a former IPO from just 2020, late 2020. So this is got a nice, right? It's a younger company. That's a Buenos. Keep an eye if we start to get to this 23s. That's going to be something. Soul trade. This one does tend to trail a little bit, but I don't know why it's been just going straight down. Probably not hot enough chart. Sun W does get picked up. This thing was at 1 and it went to 5. Now it's been pulling back a little bit, right? A little bit more congealed, I think is the term, right? It's a little bit more congealed, meaning like a lot of them are straight down, right? Like Soul. See how like that's like straight down? This is like a little bit more, I think the proper term is congealed. Congealed is like, do you know when this is how you should always eat a pizza, right? Like when you order pizza at the bar, right? And it comes to you, you don't just eat the pizza because then the cheese falls off, right? You have to like wait about 10 to 17 minutes and let the cheese congeal with the pepperonis and let it stiffen up a little bit where it's still warm, but that, right, that cheese doesn't fall off. You got to let those things, right, congeal. And this thing is congealed properly here, right? It's not going straight down. That cheese is not falling off. It's starting to stiffen a little bit. And now, oh yeah. If we need a spec one, this is the one, right? Because you got the proper congealment. Always remember that. Don't fucking eat your pizzas right out of the oven like a bunch of heathens, like you never seen it, right? There's nothing worse than that. What though you burn the roof of your mouth, the cheese is everywhere, then you got oil on your mustache and you're like hollering at that girl over there and you're like, hey, giving her a little bit of double gun salute, but then you got that cheese oil in your beard. I mean, that ain't right. That's not right. That's not how a gentleman acts. A gentleman congeals, right? A gentleman congeals. Setting. This is another one you could probably trade. Whoa. I like this SPWR one a lot. This is actually like the one. Look at this one had the biggest push in volume besides EMPH. You got basically, so I use moving average 10. So the moving average 10 on the volume is 3. Like, right? What can I? It's nice. I mean, it's at the top of the Bollinger Band, so you may need an inside day. Keep all these on the look. Fuck it. We got run. All of them. This Nova's trailing. Did about 5 million shares in volume. That's a buenos. That's Spanish for good. DSIQ too, right? Keep an alert. This may need an inside day. Oh, they can't fucking downgrade. I don't know if that downgrade actually means anything. That downgrade may actually be a possible buying opportunity, just due to the sector strength. That shows as a turn. You can see here, right? Good. I like it. I like it. I like it. You guys have this list? You need it? Take a look at the gappers now. What the fuck? Who's fucking playing this shit? Hey, word to the wise. These reverse split stocks have actually been going. There was what was that stock? Friends with Benefits a couple days ago. What's the ticker for Friends with fucking Benefits? Right, you had FWBI, I believe, was the one. Right, it kind of popped up for a couple days. These, I mean, these are a huge scam. These reverse split plays, but for like one fucking day. So you did 100 reverse split, right? The float on this is 21 million. Divide that by 100. So what is that? 200,000? I'm not a mathematician. I mean, even though I'm Indian, math is not necessarily my thing. I mean, counting monies is, but not, doing simple calculations, of course. I think we had it, man. You know what? These fucking turds, like, we've been making money on them. It sucks to say, but we've been doing it. We've been doing it right. We'll play them. Amalek secures FDA panel support for approval. You're clearing out almost all-time highs on this. Watch this level here. If you fucking start to suction over about 33, you start to get like a congealment. Man, now we got a new word. We be using this thing, all right? If you start to tighten up around that 33, that could be a buenos. The most buenos. Oh, yeah. Armando, what do you think? Fucking doesn't matter what you think. We're in together. Bro, bang. FRTX, 1 to 45 reverse split. Starting to pump. Only 67 shares, though. No good. Asan. Upgrades. Loss widens. Revenue rises. You know what? This fucking thing's really been beaten down at this point. It used to be $150. It's a former IPO. You've got a big base over here. It's been hugging this like 17 to 20 spot for quite some time. Hold on, it's pretty low. In this market, 23% is quite a bit. I would expect this thing to pull back pretty hard at the open, and then we'll see like what the fuck's going on. It should be okay. We're gonna need a pull though on this. And guys, pullback trading is all just about focus. Sometimes because we're always fucking jibber jabbing in the chat room, right? Like a lot of times when stocks pull back, like you'll forget about them because like we're so focused on like looking at like what's going up at the moment, right? That's the recency bias of trading. But like a lot of times when these things start to pull back, like I'm guilty of this too. You start to forget about it, and you're like, fuck it, right? It's going down. That's the recency bias. And then, bam, right? It's like fucking up in your grill, just fucking cocks out. And you're like, whoa, what just happened there? Like, damn, put that thing away. And so that's how we want to work on this thing with the sun. Let this thing pull back, right? Let it pull back and then show us its nuggets. At some point it will, but we can't chase it up. Does that make sense? Good. One doesn't do enough liquidity. RVNC, blast from the past. Here, this is like the ultimate range stock. Geez, U.S. FDA approval for injection to temporarily improve frown lines. Dude, how many times has somebody told you, turn that frown upside down, right? And now this drug can actually do that. Man, turn that frown upside down. I mean, how could we not trade that just for that? That's amazing. Improve frown lines. Turn that frown upside down with a little RVNC Revenge Therapeutics in it. We're all about making people smile. Oh, you know what? This one has been a little bit heating up lately. Dudes, I'm into this thing. I'm into it. You know, Rivian's obviously a big gelatinous, fucking smelly piece of excrement, but it's got a sick name and you've got a big base here. Something with Mercedes. That sounds like a fucking fluff piece if I've ever seen one. It may not matter, but let's add it to the list. I think this one's probably going to be fluffed, but who cares? GME, these fucking probably earnings were probably fucking horrendous, but nothing fiscal revenue miss. Sales fall, unveils partnership with FTX. Oh, hey, GameStop wants to get a little bit of cryptos, huh? This thing is probably rolling red today. And this thing is a red roller, most likely. That's a fucking fluff piece right there. Like when you fucking announce earnings and you're like, hey, by the way, we're getting into crypto. Like that's a whole like, you know what this reminds me of? The fucking Viru PR yesterday. Right? Like this thing, the fucking PR came out. We should have known better because like when you tank like this, that PR here is like the sucker's gap, right? It's the liquidity event. Hey guys, what is this? Fucking name your ticker. I have my process, all right? And then at the end, we go through your plays. Because my process is more important than yours. Hence why I go first. I'm just kidding, man. I'll fucking look at it in a second. Well, I think we fucking fade this thing. If it pops up enough, we try to fade it. Fuck GME. Love sack. Dude, anybody ever got a Lovesack website? They have literally like $800 fucking beanbags. You gotta get so much puss to fucking be on one of those. Get an $800 beanbag. Like you need gold chains, diamond earrings. I mean, like you need a lot of stuff. You need probably like silk leopard shirts. To have an $800 beanbag, you need. I mean, you need so much swagger. You need those fucking suede Gucci loafers, silk cheetah shirts, possibly hoop earrings. Then you can get an $800 beanbag because you're doing stuff. That's just for the rest of us. I don't know if that's possible. Profit drops, sales rise. That's a nice business right there. Fucking $800 beanbag. Good, good, good. Yeah, we'll hit this on the first dip. All right, AEO. AEO is a hoe. See that? What I just did right there. This is a big breakdown. I mean, I used to love American Eagle in high school. I obviously was never allowed to wear it because it's too expensive. And my parents are Indians, so we were only really allowed to go to Marshalls and TJ Maxx. But those kids that had those American Eagle, You know, those cargo jeans with the side pockets. Woo! I mean, much respect. Your parents let you have those? I mean, you lived a nice fucking charmed life. Yeah, I mean, we could probably short this thing. I didn't have borrows on this a couple days ago when it did this. I mean, most likely this was already been telegraphed, right? We saw this big reversal here this particular day, um, right, with all this fucking volume. So somebody's already been unloading this fucking thing. See this thing? Like it had to gap up, and then right. So you already had people have already been telegraphing this fucking thing. Target $10 in 3 weeks. We'll short it. Check on the borrows. Let me see. I don't know if Eastlet even has it. Ameriturbite. Dude, this E-Trade Pro is wild when you use like the other monitors. All the letters are so small. Yeah, they got borrows. Not much margin on it. Whatever. Let's add that. That'll probably maybe, hopefully, that'll take down some Chinas. I mean, we're basically in war with China right now, so we want to be shorting these things anyways. Wayfair private debt offering. 600 million of convertible senior notes. Private offering. 600 million. It's a $5 billion company. So it's about 10% plus 12, 13%. It's down like 6, give or take, but it's not a dilution. It's a senior notes. Let's add it just in case, you know, I don't know if it's a huge priority, but if it does start to like break under this 40, 45-ish range, you know, we may get a little something, something. This stock is really hard to trade. Don't worry, we're going to narrow all this shit down. Man, this SHPH was our fucking moneymaker the last 2 days, huh? So many MPCs. Oh, what a rush. That was the best trade I think I've had in all year, with at least in terms of how much dollars I put in. I only did 1,000 shares, but fuck. Okay, so let's take a look here. With Billy going down, we may finally lose this 87 range on the Bobblicious. Let's say 87-ish, right? It doesn't really matter. It's more of a zone of love. Let's just say 87, 88. I'd actually have one watch list of solars. All right. We'll put some China's on the other ones, other 6 windows. Oh, fuck. Fucker. You know what? I wanted that fucking candle. Fuckers. Taking these fucking things for fucking America. We take these things down. Show the Asianese who runs shit. That's us. Fucking take these things. Let's add a couple Chinas. I would not fuck with Baba unless it starts to approach that breakdown spot, though. But it may just fucking take it out of the gate sometimes. So you know what? That I would probably take CSIQ off the list, even though it says Canadian Solar. I feel like CSIQ always runs with the Chinas. I don't know why. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. All right. Let's go back to the macro. All right. Let's go back to the macro. We had a big push yesterday. All right. We want to be watching for potential red to green, right? If we get it, then I think we probably get a run back into the 50-day moving average. All right. Now we have seen quite a bit like 1-day pops that got shamangled the next day. See this, like, 1-day pop, shamangled, right? We've had like these kind of pops that get followed by like, whew, right, rugs. So in a bull market, the playbook is like, if you have this huge fucking day, right, like the QQQs were yesterday, your immediately first thought, only thought, right, is to play for the red to green, right, in bullish market scenario. We are in a bearish market scenario, and we've also kind of tapped it close into the 9 EMA. We want to be looking at the open to see if we see the signs of possibly going red to green. And if it doesn't, like, fucking shoot up right away and start working towards it, then, basically we got to, once the gap half fills and we get close to the EMAs, or we show an ORB, we go back and, we trade the trend and we short fucking city, right? Now, if the market does go red to green, then there were a lot of stocks that had like nice little squeezes yesterday, right? Like your SQs and your fucking Teslas that had like some nice move. You could trade any of these things, and you'll be fine. And the solars too, all right? If that does not happen, I would add snow to that list too. I had a nice push yesterday from 167 to 178, give or take. Oxy's sitting on the 50-day moving average, right? So you can kind of, you can add in a couple of these. Change this around a little bit. Hold on. Fucking put on the second 6 windows. We got China's. Let's add on this one, the China's, and then we'll add the fucking solars here. We got to get a little bit better organized. We don't have a clear up or down today, right? Hey, by the way, this is an inside day on IC yesterday. I think that's actually a 6 windows. I see a little silhouette of a man. Got the moosh. Will you do the fandango? Oh, what a song. Let's add this fucking Pixie Nation. AMLX too. Let's add the fucking Rivian. I think this might be fluff, but if it's not, then we got a San only on pullbacks. Fucking RNVC, IC, UC, we all see. Yo, you can short this or Vero all the way back to 0, basically. This looks like a fucking bear flag. Apple's on the Apple's ready to get fucking dusted. Oh, Coop was an earnings play yesterday. Actually, Coop delicious. Let's watch this for day 2 if the market gets hot. If we don't know. Fucking Billy Bong, Baba. Man, this is nice. All right, this is a good God-fearing Christian list right here. All right, so we got the Chinas, we got some solars. Rivian, Pixie, ICUC, AMLX. And we can keep fucking, the video looks like it's ready to fucking get busted. So it's got a 3-day bear flags out of our macro play. Macro play means you're following the market, right? So you have your PR plays and you got your macro plays. Macro plays means like what's following the index, right? The QQQ, main macro play The only one you need is this fucking NVIDIA. If it gets dusted under this level, fucking whip it out. We whip it out. G Tesla, AMD, fucking. Let's go do this, guys. You know how we do. You know how we do. Look, as they say in France, 2 beers in a bucket. Hook it. All right, Pixie's starting to fucking push.